are you doing there? Hi, Cancer. How is everything for you tonight? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for Monday, September 15th through Thursday, September 18th. That's the whole deal on that. I'm supposed to be back on Wednesday to do bonus readings to get you through the weekend like I usually do. Of course, they're threatening to take TikTok down on Wednesday, I think. If I remember, I think it's Wednesday's when they're threatening to do it. So, whatever. If I'm not here, because if TikTok's not up, I won't be here, then if you get a chance, go over and follow me on the YT, because I will be there. I'm there right now anyways, but, you know, I do both. So, I'm over there as Sherilyn's Tarot, okay? We got that out of the way. Let's move on. Here we go. So, for my Cancers, let's see what we get. Okay, Cancer, we're looking into your backstory to start. Where are we at? We got the Tower, okay, followed by the Five of Cups. In the challenge position, I'm looking at the Sun. So, your backstory here is that you had a foundation that you were building on top of basically crumble right beneath your feet, right? You were going in one direction, something went sideways, and all of a sudden, boom, the tower fell. That's how it looks. You were left with a sense of loss and regret, to be certain. Okay, this is your backstory, so this has already happened. The challenge in this particular row right here became the Sun. The Sun is supposed to be the happiest card in the deck. So I'm not positive if we're looking at this as being happy became the challenge, because I'm sure it would under those circumstances, or if the reason all this happened was because something was illuminated. But either way, happiness was probably hard to come by in the recent past what we're talking about. Okay, but this is the past, so we're past this. Past, we're past. Okay, so come on. We're going to go past that. Let's get past that. What do we have currently? Currently, I've got you with the Death card. And then we have the Knight of Wands, okay? In the challenge position, we're looking at Temperance. So, the Death card is actually one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck, period. I'll take this over the Lovers any day. Okay, Death card is all about death, yes, but death and transformation. So it means things dying out that aren't working anymore to bring, you know, to make things change or to transform into things that will work or to bring new things in. So if we had the Tower and the Five of Cups in the past, obviously things weren't working. Now we're transforming. That's great. That's good news. Rarely do transformations feel great, but they're always great when they're done, right? So this is where you're at now, in the middle of a transformation. The Knight of Wands being the next card over. There's something here about you being a little bit impulsive or possibly not necessarily thinking out the consequences to the actions that you take, maybe. There could also be some anger here towards whatever did or didn't work in the past or however this is all played out. I get the feeling that there's misdirected anger here, so maybe be mindful of that. You know, sometimes we can get angry at people for whatever, for saying something that they shouldn't have said, and it's like, but if you hadn't done what you had done, then they wouldn't have something to say. That's the kind of thing I feel like is going on here. But you know, just be mindful of not projecting outward what needs to be dealt with on inside of you. Okay, the challenge in the current is Temperance. Whatever's happened here and whatever's happening right now, the transformations that are taking place, all of that is taking time. Okay, so the challenge is being patient, and that's hard to do. It is. It's always hard to do. But that's what you're being called on to do. So that's that. Okay, what do we have in the near future? Okay, I've got the Two of Cups. And then we got the Six of Cups. And the challenge is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, Two of Cups would speak of a divine union, okay, in my book. So this is what we're talking about in general here, seems to be a divine union. So, you know what, if you are in a divine union that lasts any amount of time, an extended amount of time, right? You're going to have great days, bad days, transformations, the whole 10 yards. It looks like currently this divine union is going through it some, right? It looks like you really went through it in the recent past, but now you're trying to get through this transformation, so that has its own obstacles involved. Things do look like they get better for sure in the near future between the Two of Cups, which is a divine union, and then the Six of Cups, so you're drawing on nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? The two of you must have history. So it's all about remembering the good times or trying to build more of them, okay? The challenge here is the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles is all about your legacy, your success, your abundance. So I'm not sure if this is telling me that the challenge is the Ten of Pentacles because there are money troubles. That's a possibility. You could have some money problems here in the near future. Clarify that. What do I got? The Ten of Wands, the Chariot, and the Seven of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles has something to do with you having a different direction you can go in that will bring you an easier path to your Ten of Pentacles, I feel like. I feel like some sort of opportunity is going to present itself if it already hasn't. What I mean by that is maybe that's why the Tower fell up here in the past. Was you were presented with an opportunity. In your mind, it was going to get you to the Ten of Pentacles quicker. So we have a divine union here that seems to be in trouble, or it's been in trouble, and now you're trying to transform it. But there's still this lingering offer on the table that for you seems to be an easier way to get to the Ten of Pentacles. That's why it's the challenge. It comes down to which one do you pick, right? Love or money is what it looks like. It feels like a test to me. Anyways, so when I clarified it, I end up with the Ten of Wands, the Chariot, and the Seven of Pentacles. The Chariot's your card anyway, so this is you trying to stand in your power down here. But it's also about forward motion. It looks as though in the near future you're trying to ride away from what you consider to be a heavy burden. So whatever thing you think is the heavy burden is what you're riding away from. You're deciding here in the near future what it is you want to invest in and how much. So at this particular point, no matter what anybody else thinks, I don't think the decision has been solidified yet. It seems quite a bit up in the air. Bottom of the deck for this was the Four of Wands, which would mean that you're dealing with the higher level soulmate. Behind that, I have the Fool and the Nine of Wands. I mean, if you want my personal opinion, I feel that if you were to take this leap of faith in another direction, you will end up as the Nine of Wands, which is the wounded warrior. That's what I see in those three cards, but that's just what I see, right? I don't know. What else we got here? I've got the Ace of Pentacles. See, there's a new opportunity. The Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit. So currently you haven't taken this new opportunity. You haven't jumped into it yet, but it's still on the table. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is you not moving very fast at all in any direction because you are being very cautious. You're trying to weigh everything out and make sure you're making the right decision. You're in hermit mode right now. Well, I mean, it's free will, so you get to decide. That's part of how life works. But there we go. 3 more, and I'm going to do the days of the week. I have the Page of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Queen of Wands. Well, this is you deciding to go after whatever it is you want, period, with the Queen of Wands, I feel like. With the Moon card, this is you not seeing everything clearly. And with the Page of Pentacles, it's you trying to rebuild some kind of foundation right now is what you're not seeing everything clearly about. Like there's pitfalls ahead that you haven't bothered to see or something. That's what I got. Okay, Monday, I have the Nine of Swords. You're all up in your head. 5 of Wands. There's a lot of gossip around you on Monday. Tuesday, I have the Devil and the Ace of Swords. This is the devil trying to get you to bend the truth. Wednesday, I have the Page of Wands and the Hierophant. This is you being tired of a higher level of commitment and trying to go on an adventure, I feel like. And Thursday, I have Justice and the Seven of Wands. This is you feeling very defensive because you're afraid justice is going to play out and the scales will be balanced. This made me sad, and I know all in all it sounded like a good reading. It made me sad, though. Just be mindful of what you're doing. That's all I can say. Just try to think it out and be honest with yourself and see how it's going to work out for you, okay? All right, there you go. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you possibly can. If you made it to this point and you don't mind, can you tap the like, share, follow, comment, whatever. All of them. Tap, tap, tap. No. And like I said earlier, I'm over on YouTube as Cheryl Lynn's Tarot in case they take this down. If you need a private reading, just send me a message. I'll get you the details and we'll work it out. I get messages every day about scammers that are out there trying to use my name and my picture. If they contact you first, it's not me. They're phony, a fake, a fraud, but it's not me. You send me a message, DM me. I'll get you the details. We'll work it out. But that's the only way. Okay? I'd love to hear from you, but please don't have to. But I don't want to hear from you when you tell me you got scammed because that's sad. Okay? All right, y'all. Have a good day.